Okay, just making sure the stream was up and running. Welcome everyone to the last round of Season 11 AM3 here in Contest of Speed. I am your host, Deathstorm. Hopefully I will be joined soon by Mr. E. Warren. He's been having some connectivity issues, so hopefully we could get him in as soon as possible with us. Tonight we are racing around the Interlagos circuit, better known as the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pacha, here at Sao Paulo, Brazil, birthplace of Ayrton Senna. Track length is 4.3 kilometers or 2.6 miles with 15 turns. Has a capacity of 60,000 people. Back when I started watching Formula One, this was the finale. It has now been relegated to the second to last round due to being in favor of Brazil or Abu Dhabi, as Kryptonic Swang already has disqualified himself from the session. Probably from blocking. Oh wow, blocking the pit lane. Yeah, I see the stricken Ferrari right there. Unfortunate for him, he will be starting P17, so if he has it to do, it's going to be from literally back to front. And hello, Steve. How are we tonight? But before we get started, a little bit of news to go through from last week at Shanghai. I know the stream was incomplete. I apologize. I got that again due to me being at work. There were no incident reports reported, but there was a report for a 10-second reset the track penalty on Raptors, which relegated him from P7 to P8 in the final results. The podium remained as was, with BK winning, as well as winning the AM3 championship. IRL Shane was P2 and Tin Man was P3. And Steve, I have a hockey team, always have had a hockey team. It is my cohort, Mr. Warren, that does not. But with that, the results from Shanghai were pretty much for the most part unchanged. I'm actually on board here with the championship winner of AM3. And I'm also going to disclose a little bit of news that was already kind of agreed upon by the AM admins. Yours truly, Mr. BK on screen, is going to be a new addition to the AM admin team for Season 12. A lot of that has to do with the recruiting aspect of things, and he's got a bunch of different ideas that he ran by me in the during this part of the season, as Red Arrow goes 123.6, which is a provisional pole currently, which BK then just tops 108.6. But yeah, BK, I'm looking forward to working with him, and as well as the rest of the admin team for Season 12. So hopefully we'll figure it all out together. Make this part. Whoa, as he's just taking out bollards left, right, and center. Thanks, Steve. But yeah, that's the game plan moving forward for Season 12. I am very happy to have him along, work alongside him. I know he's got some good ideas, and hopefully we can get him plugged in and acclimated with everybody else. So any issues going around, he is a new person to ask for. I see somebody has joined the booth. Has somebody been able to get into the lobby?
We reset it, and it's running like 10 times faster, and we have not tested it, so we are currently testing.
Okay.
I may need another invite, because I think I burnt that Guru invite that I had. Unless it'll let me.
What was that?
I think I need another invite.
I can't send invites, you know this.
What do you mean you can't send invites? I thought you fixed it.
That's only for my Deathstorm account, not my comms account.
Oh.
Not the comms account. Yeah, that's why I said you have to request to join me if possible. Are all the invites?
Give me a sec. Let me check. Oh, never mind. I can still work off a cruise.
All right, you can piggyback off of Grizz. As oh wow, Swifty's already there. But okay, so going through the field a little bit, we have Swifty reserving in the Mercedes. We have IRL Shane, his teammate, also reserving in the other Mercedes. Again, he was P2 from last week. And I'm trying to find the third reserve.
I'm gonna kill myself.
A new guy into the server via with Cap and Jack. VSC Discreet. He's joining us for the season finale tonight, so I'm looking forward to see what he's got. If he's anything like Cap and Jack, it's definitely going to be at least midfield, maybe closer to the top flight.
How do I fix this? To freaking load.
Any luck?
Got another NR7.
But yeah, as of right now, we have BK and provisional pole with a 1086. We have IRL Shane 3/10 behind in P2. Captain Tito in the Ferrari P3 with a 1093. Red Arrow P4 with JP5. Sean Boy P6. Gru P7. Karsten P8. Swifty 9. Severe Scott 10. And Raptors rounding out the field that has set a time with Arkaka, Cap and Jack, Black Hammer, Red Mask, and Discreet have yet to set a lap.
I'm setting one last reset of my PlayStation. If it doesn't work, I'm trying.
I know you're trying. I know you're trying. Unfortunately, it's just not helping you right now at the moment. Okay, so try to find somebody who's on a hot lap here if I can. Raptors. We'll stay on board with Raptors going through the sector 3 here, going through Zhongkao, and then the long elongated front straight here. Warren, I feel your pain. It's 22 has been a lot of issues. As Raptors goes P5 with a 1094. So he goes from 130 to a 1094. I didn't curse unlike you. Vamu's even in the chat. Hello, Mr. Vamu. Captain Tito looks like he's going to be going out on a hot lap. Oh, I know. That swear jar is probably about up to what, 20 bucks now, maybe even 30 now. See what Captain Tito does through Sector 1 here, heading toward Decina Delaga. Heading up toward the center midfield section here. Very twisty and turny part of the course. Going up the hill, 6th gear, going back down to the hill, hitting 3rd gear, 2nd gear. The hairpin in the midfield, shifting up in the 3rd, short shift in 4th, 5th, 6th. No, he keeps it in 5th. Rolls the car through in 3rd, going to the end of Sector 2, through Zhongkao, and I can't see his time, because, oh, I just caught a faint glimpse at 6/10 up, so he's going to race to the line here, keep a tight line, through turns 14 and 15, to the line, we have a 1084, puts it on pole by 2/10 on BK.
The swear jar is probably upwards of 50 bucks, probably.
Oh, 50 bucks probably.
The B streams of.
Oh yeah, there's been a couple of them. There has been a couple of B streams because my internet hasn't exactly been the greatest on the face of the planet. And I fell asleep for a race. You'll never let me live it down as long as I live.
Here's lucky and am quick on my feet.
Hey, it worked out very well either way. As we have BK, who backed out of that. He was 8/10 up, and then he invalidated. He looked like he was swinging wide there, but he invalidated. Oh, VSC Cap and Jack lost it out of Decina del Lago there.
Well,
looks like looks like I might be on my own here.
yeah, I'll stay on and watch it from the stream side, but
All right.
I don't know how much it'll help being from commentator's standpoint.
Well, either way, I'm still gonna want you in the booth regardless because I know you'll want to be part of the interviews at bare minimum, and that way I could get your podium predictions. Because as everybody knows, that's been following the AM3 season all season, me and him have had a little friendly rivalry with the podium predictions, and I just needed to win for like a month straight to force this winner-take-all scenario, and I have done just that. So, get good, son. I will right actually on board with the reserve of VSE Discreet and see what he has. 16.9 through the first sector. He hasn't set a lap yet. Going through the infield part here at Interlagos. Throwing it in the second gear. Going up the airpin left. Takes a little bit of a wider line, but he's able to get the traction out of the exit. Pulling it up in the sixth gear, going in through the end of sector 2, down the hill. It's very easy to spin the car on this right-hander going down the hill at the end of sector 2. Let's see what time he has. A 51.9 going through Juncal. And then turns 14 and 15 coming up. He's going to take a little bit of a wider line. Hits the DRS straight. Yeah, he takes a little bit of a wider line as he goes 108.6. Puts it in P3. In front of BK by 4/100ths of a second, so very decent lap from the Alfa Romeo there. The field spread from first to 13th is just a shade over a second, actually, right now. Steve's really into the whole hockey thing in the chat. Always has been, apparently. Raptors goes 127.3, so he's not going to improve on that 8th place as we're approaching 5 minutes left of the final qualifying session here at Season 11. Warren needs a team, yes, we know. BK. Those guys that are in the pits, Captain Tito, Red Mask, Black Hammer, they're going to be setting up to get on their final laps in mere moments as BK does invalidate through that downhill section heading toward the hairpin. IRL Shane just barely kept it on the track there. Going through Curva del Sol, going down the Retro Raposto into Decina del Lago. Pretty much the only parts of the track that I actually know by heart. Keeping it nice and tidy. He has his teammate behind him. I'm thinking he's just going to let him through, and that's exactly what IRL Shane does. Give me 1 second.
Oh, Steve is going off
Boom.
in chat.
I love that new function. IRL Shane is actually going to be going on to a hot lap as it sits. He's sitting at P6 with a 108.977. So we'll go on board with the Mercedes reserve as he heads through the Senna S's, hitting it in a third gear, keeping it tight on the apex there. The right-hander, Curva del Sol, keeping it as tight on the left-hander as possible, going down the Retro Raposo into the Vicina Del Lago. Throwing it in the 4th gear, much extra curb as you like, 5th, 6th, 7th gear, probably going to hit, yep, he's going to hit 8th gear going into the double right, still going up the hill, heading toward the middle part of Sector 2, where he could gain or lose a lot of time depending. Going up traction, very good out of the traction zone there, hitting it up faintly into 6th gear into the hairpin. Going down the hill, downhill left-hander to end Sector 2. Let's see what his time's going to be with a 51.6. Almost 6/10 clear of his previous best. And then he's going to hit the DRS straight and keep it as tight to the left-hand side as he likes without invalidating. 106, 107, 108.4. Puts it on provisional pole by 0.02 of a second on Captain Tito. 108.47. The EU3 pole time as Carson retires from the session. The EU3 pole time was by Tichy. Unofficially, I guess, because he had a 5 grid penalty going in. But he had a 108.080, so 0.4 off. That's typical for EU3, AM3. For ruining the Ferrari sandwich. Vamu's into the chat, and if my notes serve me correct, I believe Ferrari racked up the overall constructors title for season 11 as well, which for us Red Bull guys is boo. Captain Tito is going to be setting up to go on his final hot lap. So as we approach the end of qualifying here, we are just now under a minute to go. The Ferrari is going to start his final flying lap. Yep, we just hit 50 seconds now, so keeping it tight through 1 and 2. Heading down the Retroposto. He is marginally up on his best time through Sector 1, keeping hitting a lot of curb there, almost losing the back end, going up the hill to the double right-hander, keeping in 7th, 6th gears through the corners, throwing it into 3rd gear through the first part of the infield. Takes a late apex going up the hill, hits the curb there, throwing it in the 2nd gear through the latter part of Sector 2, going down the hill, keeping his gas in it. He's a 10th down, so unless he gets gets a great final sector, he's not going to improve on his time. As qualifying is over, we're going to stay on board with Captain Tito here. As he gets to the dash to the line, he is going to go 108.6, which is not going to improve on his time. He's going to stay P2. Red Mask was able to throw it in P3. I wasn't even aware of that. He's a 10.5 up through Sector 2. Oh, Red Mask goes P2. Red Mask 1,000th of a second faster than Captain Tito. Throws it into the front row of the grid. J retires from the session. Who else is on a lap? BK is gonna AM3 champion. He's gonna qualify at best 5th. Kaka, Raptors DQ'd himself from the session now, so that drops him all the way from wherever he was. It was P12. It's not much of a drop, but gotta move everybody behind him up. As Kaka invalidated. So that is quali over. We have IRL Shane in reserve on pole. Red Mask is P2, Captain Tito P3, with J's P4, BK P5, this VSC Discreet on debut P6, Seanboy P7, Arkaka P8, Red Arrow P9, Gru P10, Black Hammer P11, Severe Scott P12, Captain Jack 13, Karsten Chong 14, Swifty P15, and Raptors and Kryptonic all both DSQ'd them from session there. I don't want to see reports for the last week,
Darkness,
please.
darkness, darkness, nightmares, murder.
Vamu in the chat goes, if Warren doesn't do a 107 in AM2, he'll be posting penalties. Yeah, at this point it might be a light one. But yeah, we're gonna go with that. That is our qualifying order.
Lord.
Shane, Red Mask, Tito, with JBK, Discreet, Shamboy, Arkaka, Red Arrow, Guru, Black Hammer, Scott, Captain Jack, Karsten Chung, Swifty, Raptors, and Kryptonic. Podium predictions, safety cars, always welcome in the chat. Since I got yours off screen last week, and I kind of was able to do it on mine, I'll let you go first this week, sir.
I'll actually take the top 3 as it stands.
You're gonna go. You're gonna go Shane, Red
Shane,
Mask.
Tito, Red Mask. Shane, Tito, Red Mask.
Shane,
Flip
Tito,
the-
Red Mask.
Shane flew in. Yeah, flip 2 and 3.
Okay. I'm going to. I'm gonna say Shane winning definitely. I cannot go against BK though. The Hasses find a way. I'm gonna go BK P2. And I know Krypton. We haven't seen his pace. I'm gonna go off the wall here. Shane BK. Shane BK Red Arrow.
Okay.
So we are going to have a definitive winner tonight.
For craps and giggles, for P4, should it come down to it, I'm going to have BK at P4.
You want to do P4 just in case?
Yeah.
All right. So,
BK P4.
all right. If you're going to go BK P4, then I'm going to go. I'm going to go Sean Boy P4 there. If it comes down to it.
Jeez, I'm going to have to use
Akaka P3 and we shut down COS. Oh, wow. Thanks, Mama.
Markaka's on the if there's an Alpine on the podium, everything goes nuts today.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, I'm doing career mode and watching stream at the same time.
Nice. Yeah, because he can't get into the lobby, so unfortunately I'm by myself. I'm unfortunately by myself here. But yeah, we'll go through the line short list one more time. Shane's on the medium tires on pole. Red Mask is on hards, P2. Tito, with J and BK on mediums. First guy and the only guy on softs is Discreet in P6. Sean Boy on mediums. Arkaka on mediums. Red Arrow and Gru on hards. Black Hammer, Scott, Captain Jack, Karsten, Swifty, Raptors, and Kryptonic all on the mediums, rounding out the grid here in the final race of Season 11 AM3 competition here in Contest of Speed. That was a little bit blah. Take a drink of my orange soda before we get started.
This stream has been brought to you by Coca-Cola and unnamed orange soda brand.
Fago orange soda, by the way.
Jetta's first sector is so bad.
You're in Jetta?
Jetta's first sector is so bad.
Oh, it's terrible. I can't stand that track.
Minus my maiden podium, I hate this track.
I mean, I do have a top 5 there, but be that as it may, everybody's coming up to the grid now. Slot in behind here. Let's see if I can get a decent camera angle. That'd be great. I highly doubt I'm going to be able to get something going into turn 1 here. Yeah,
And
it's kind of, yeah, it's very similar. Pretty much the camera angles are all similar. So we're just going to go here with Mr. Shane as we wait for everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here in Brazil. Shane looks like he got a good start, but they look like they're going 4 wide into 1. They look like they're going 4 wide into 1. There's a bunch of cars going off there. Witchay goes up into P2. BK finds his way up into P3 already. Discreet up into P4. Shamboy P5. Gru P6. Captain Jack right behind him P7.
No, Tito!
Raptors and Kryptonic. Kryptonic is already into 10th, by the way. He's fighting with Arkaka on the fringe points there. Arkaka... Yeah, Arkaka's just going to let him through. Notices he doesn't have that type of speed, but Kryptonic is already in a P10. Arkaka P11, his teammate right behind him P12. Swifty's in 13th. Red Mask is the big loser in all this, all the way down to 14th.
Rip any of my chances with Red Mask and Tito down at 14th and 15th.
14th and 15th, that's already destroying you. Severe Scott at 16th, and what's destroying me is Red Arrow. He definitely got caught up in something because he's all the way in the back of the pack. Through the first lap, Shane leads by 0.3 of a second on Witchay. Oh my God, that is a flashback and a half, Vamo. Kryptonic is looking to do a clay funk from season 9 where he went back to podium. Actually, I think he might have won. I think he came from the back to win that race, if I'm not mistaken. As we have a yellow flag in sector 3. Red Mask retired.
Oh my God!
Out of the Curva del Sol. Red Mask is the first casualty, and I was looking to go back and see who spun out of the Senna S's. It was Severe Scott. We have a safety car already. Lap 2, we already have a safety car. We didn't have one in EU3. Oh boy.
Chances. Tito at the bottom, Redman's gone. Shane's gonna win, but it doesn't matter because you have Shane winning as well.
Yeah, right now what's helping me is the fact that I have Shane. I have BK P4, P2, and he's P4 on track. Okay, yeah, he did go back to front. Thanks for the clarification, Vamo. That might have actually been his only win. But we do have a safety car already here. As Discreet finds himself into 3rd. So as it sits after the lap 1, lap 2 kerfluffle, IRL Shane leads. Witchay's P2, Discreet's P3, BK is P4, Shamboy P5, Guru is P6, Cap and Jack P7, Black Hammer P8, Raptors is in P9, Kryptonic all the way from the back is already into the points, P10, Arkaka P11, Swifty P12, Karsten P13, Captain Tito P14, Red Arrow 15, and Severe Scott into the pits, rounding out the last runner going into the safety car. You have the ultimate comeback driver, you have Tire God King coming from AM3, this has honestly been the cleanest AM3 season, and I mean, I know we've only been doing it for 3 seasons now, but cleanest.
Heck, this is probably the cleanest out of any of the AM tiers currently. AM2's been all over the place. It's either clean or dirty.
AM1, I mean, they've been clean for the most part. It's just the fact that just numbers are getting to them, which is unfortunate. So. But while we have the safety car break, speaking of numbers, if there's anybody that's interested in joining COS that's not a part of it, you're speaking to the person that should get you in. Or at least one of them. Another one's in the booth as well, Mr. E. Warren. Vamu's also in the chat. He's an admin. BK, newly minted admin. He can get you in. BK, myself, and Mr. E. Warren are going to be doing open lobbies during the off season. We are, I guess it's Chief Recruiter. I guess it's Chief Recruiter. Is the role that we have?
Yeah.
But yeah, if we are interested in seeing you run, if you're interested in running with us, I should say, catch us in an open lobby one of these days, and if we like you, we will send you an invite and get you into the server as soon as possible, and we'll get you placed for Season 12. We're looking to fill out, it seems like, what, mainly AM1 pace guys at the moment?
Yeah. We have gotten some guys, but we need a little bit, just a little bit more off the top.
Yeah,
top
I mean,
8%, 7% of drivers.
something like that. But I mean, any skill level is definitely more than welcome. There's no question about that. Like, any numbers that we can get. I know some of the guys, and I'm gonna plug another tier into here. Some of the newer guys in NASCAR. Some of them have been expressing interest into the Formula One side. Feel free to hit me up. Help out your boy Deathstorm over here, as the safety car will be in this lap. Shane will be leading them to the green, going through the field. It's even after the safety car. There are drivers. Every single driver is on red when it comes to fuel. So they may need another safety car. Absolute craziness. Shane's waiting. Now he goes. Which Discreet got a good. Discreet and BK are fighting here. BK looks like he got an absolute god jump again, like he always seems to do. Going through the Curva del Sol here, heading down the Retro Aposta.
I didn't see Discreet on the softs at the beginning. That's an interesting start strategy. Start on the soft, see how far you can go. Kind of esque of what I did. No, not really esque of what I did last season, but I did go medium soft, or at least tried it last season. So it is nice to see a little bit of different strategy around here, because it's really one you can get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how far he could take those softs, though. I mean, I know the hards. If you're going on softs, you have to be comfortable on the hards to go for days. As VSC Discreet is looking all over the back of Witche. He's holding up BK as well. So it looks like we're going to have ourselves a little DRS train from second on back if Witche keeps on holding Discreet on those soft compound tires. That safety car actually did help out him in his tire life. As IRL Shane goes fastest to the 112. Oh, Discreet, whoa. Almost ran into the back of Witche there. DRS will not be enabled for another lap, but he's going to have, as Witche goes defensive, Discreet's going to try to dive it on the inside. I don't know about that. I would have tried to stay on the outside and try to overshoot it and make him brake a little later. Severe Scott's into the pits again. He's pitting onto the hard compound tires, so he must have had another issue and broke part of his wing. Swifty's off the track in the back as well, so he goes off, going up the hill, dropping himself down the P15. But meanwhile, we're going to go back to this battle here for the scraps of the podium of second and third, as IRL Shane has already booked it to almost a 2-second lead. Witche almost gets loose going into Zhongkao in the sector 3 here. DRS will be enabled on this lap, so Witche might be in trouble. As, Discreet has a little bit of a moment, but he is coming into the pits, so he's already getting off those soft compound tires after 5 laps. So he's definitely thinking long game toward the end here. So we're going to go back up to the leading battle here. Witche, BK does not have DRS. Does not have DRS. Interesting. Sean Boyd grooves up into P5. Red Arrow's back up in the P9, by the way.
Where's Tito? Tito's in 12th. What happened, Tito?
Tapping Tito. No. Oh, Tito fell off the cliff, it looks like. I don't know. I didn't catch what he was doing.
12th, man.
You're just not having. You're not having good luck when it matters most.
I'm not having good luck, period, today. Okay.
Gasping for air much right now?
No, I've been drowning myself since round 12.
Hand over throat.
Got a little bit of that 28-3 action in me today, I don't know.
Grooves on those hards. He's going to be closing up onto that P4 and P3 as Swifty's off the back again, going up the hill in sector 2 in the midfield section. the infield section. I don't know why I call it midfield, but IRL Shane's already opened up a 2.5 second gap. BK is closing in. He's inside of a second. Sean Boy's also inside of a second of BK. So this battle for P2 is going to get very interesting fairly quickly. Between the AM3 champion, drivers champion BK, and actually just constructors champion in general because his teammate's right behind him. Kryptonic Swang is already up in the P6, by the way. 8 laps in.
Having himself a day.
I did not see that one coming. I mean, I know he had pace, but hopefully he could show some consistency. And actually keep it on the deck this round. No offense to Krypton. Love having you around, buddy. If I'm not mistaken, you're also part of the recruiting crew as well, so glad to have you aboard there. Shane goes fastest with a 1:11.6. I'm interested to see what Discreet is going to do on those medium compound tires, because he wasn't pumping fast laps on those softs, but maybe he has something in the tank for later on. BK is all over the back of Witjay here for P2. He is just going to sit behind him. Ideally, that might be the best strategy. Sit behind and be the first car in the DRS train, first or second car. As there you go, Discreet goes 1:11.4, pumps in the fastest lap.
This car is hot garbage. Woo!
But in the midst of Witjay battling with BK and everybody else here, he's already opened up a gap of 3 seconds. Shane, that is, to Witjay, as we get our first time penalty. Speaking of Discreet, he gets his first time penalty, and he's the first one of the race to get it.
Not discreetly picking up the time penalty.
Kryptonic Swang is already up in the P5, but he's 3 seconds adrift of Sean Boy for P4. So Krypton from 17th to 5th in 10 laps. That is impressive. And barely any DRS, and he's not in the DRS train. There's nothing going on there. Going up ahead, BK is all over the back of Witjay, again going down the Retro Pasta. He's gonna go onto the outside of the Red Bull. Red Bull gives him just enough space. BK has better traction out of the corner, but Witjay is gonna hold onto it. Oh, Witjay made contact with him. It looks like he clipped the curb there on the inside. I don't know if Sean or BK has any damage, but BK was wise enough to lift and back out of it. So Witjay holds on the P2 for now. The only guy that's behind BK is Sean Boy right now. Krypton is 3 seconds adrift of that. So while these three fight, the DRS train that's going to form looks like it's going to be from 5th on back at the moment. 5th all the way back to 10th at the moment, it looks like. BK is going to look to go up the front straight here. He's not draining any of the battery. He's just going straight ERS. Going up into the center S for lap 11. Ooh, BK. Just be careful. And he's going to have DRS coming down the Retro Pasto, heading toward the Cima del Lago again. And he's going to not make another move for the time being. He's just going to sit behind him. He's going to try to recover a little bit of ERS, try to save a little bit of fuel. I think BK feels that he's faster than Witjay in front of him. But these two boys are going to have to get a move on soon. If Krypton's starting to creep in a little bit, he's now inside of that 3 second gap. He broke DRS of Gru behind him. So if Krypton could easily keep on moving, making that charge up to the front, he may have something to say with this battle toward the middle or latter part of the race here. BK is all over the back of Witjay. He's going to make the move going into the center S. He makes it clean like Max Verstappen does, but let's see if Witjay goes back at him like Ocon did. No, BK is completely through in the P2. Which is going to have DRS, and we have a Alfa Romeo off its fly camera in the Senna S. As BK holds on the P2, Whitjay slots into P3, Seanboy is in P4, Kryptonic Swang is starting to close the gap a little bit on Seanboy. Seanboy is losing touch to those front two now. It's 2.7. There's a lap car in front of him. That has to be Swifty. So the leaders have already lapped one gentleman tonight. BK is now sitting 4.5 seconds off. We have another car off in the Senna S. It's Severe Scott. He's been having a rough time tonight. More in particular in Sector 1. Discreet and Black Camera, the Alfa Romeo boys are the only two with penalties for the time being. As BK has Whitjay for all over the back of him now. It's vice versa of the rolls just a couple laps ago. But Whitjay is not doing what BK did. I think Whitjay is going to try to save ERS a little bit. He definitely doesn't have as much as... actually, no, BK has less. As Carson Chong is out of the center S's, he DNF'd from the race. Carson gets a brings out the second safety car of the evening. So that closes the gap right up.
But now you know who's back in it? Captain Tito's back in it, baby.
That brings everything to a screeching halt here. I wouldn't be too surprised if the medium runners go into the pits now.
Straight onto the hards for the rest of the race, or you?
That's what I'm thinking.
You get a Warren-esque play and try the softs and see if another safety car comes out from the kerfuffle that is a restart around here.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. Shane's in. See what BK does.
Jump for flying turtles.
BK's
that's
in. Whitjay's in. Seanboy's in. Krypton's in. Gru is in. Raptors is in. Red Arrow, we'll find out if Red Arrow's coming in. Red Arrow's going to stay out. Captain Tito is in. Arkaka's coming in. Carson Chong unfortunately left the session. Bud, I know it's been a rough season for you, so hopefully you come back in Season 12 with a new game. And everything will pan itself out for you. IRL Shane keeps the lead as he is now in contact with the safety car. Red Arrow's P2 after not pitting. He's definitely hoping and praying for another safety car. BK sitting there in P3, Whitjay P4, Seanboy P5, Krypton P6.
Not having a safety car there for Red Arrow actually kind of hurts him, because in a situation where he gets another safety car right off the restart, he's going to have to dive in and everybody else is going to stay out on their fresh tires. So he's really hoping for this race to go another 10-12 laps to see if people will dive back in for softs at the end or not.
But I don't know. That could play a big role too. But Raptors P8, Tito P9, Arkaka P10, Cap and Jack P11, Black Hammer Discreet 12 and 13 in the Alfa Romeos, Swifty P14, and Severe Scott still hanging around. He's still not out of the race just yet. He's in P15. He's struggling, but he's still moving. And to go back to that point with Red Arrow, if another safety car comes out right away, he can go onto the medium compound tires. And you're reducing that medium compound stint as Swifty gets a 3-second time penalty now under safety car. But I think if there's another safety car immediately, that actually will benefit Red Arrow, because he's going to go back. He's going to go to the back of the pack regardless. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If he takes the paint early rather than late, it gives him more time to fight through the field. It gives him more time for other drivers to make a mistake. As long as he doesn't get caught up in it, he can fight his way back into the points-paying positions. That's my view. In this situation, because he's got to pit, or did he pit on lap 1? No. Yeah, but he's not making those tires last 35 laps. He's not
He'd
Groove.
need literally safety car after safety car after safety car to make this go another 20 laps. So he's going to have to come in eventually. It's just, if it comes in now, he's going to already lose that 20 seconds. But if he was to stay out longer and let that gap grow, because obviously there's going to be a spread throughout the grid, because his cars are already 3 seconds back to the next car or more. So if he's able to stick it out and stay up there in that top 5 area when he comes in about 10 laps tops, he's going to have a little bit of a gain on some of the cars ahead. So he's going to come out probably like a P10, P11 spot.
That's true. I didn't even think of that. You're right. And I mean, the midfield tonight is battling like crazy. So yeah, that field spread might come into play.
Well, that's why I think he's hoping for the not to have a safety car from here on out, because then he's not going to be.
I'll tell you one driver who's hoping to not have a safety car, and that's our resident Tire God King. He's the only.
Tire God King.
Him and Severe Scott are the only two on mediums. The only difference is Scott's on 5-lap-old mediums, and Groove just bolted his on. And Groove's in P7.
I done goofed on my career mode. I'm only running a 13-lap race at Jeddah.
That's still painful. That's still
I forgot
painful.
to change it to 50%.
You. You should check to see who's winning the Stanley Cup Final Game 2.
Like Golden Knights, I don't know. One of them.
One of them. Yes, it's either the Golden Knights or the Florida Panthers that are winning it. Be careful, or I'll tell Seattle to release the Kraken on your behind.
God, the Golden Knights are up 4-0. 4 left in the second. Yeah. Lord, who's scoring all these goals?
My prediction might come true. Before the Stanley Cup Finals started, I said that Vegas was going to win it in 5, and they're already up 1-0, and they're up 4-0 in Game 2. Yeah.
March Assault 7 minutes in. Power play. Martinez with 2 minutes left in the first period. Roy 2.5 into the second period, and then Howden 7 minutes into the period.
Jeez. They're lighting Bob. I'm assuming it's Bobrovsky in that for Florida.
I'd assume so. I don't know why it would be anybody else.
Well, it's either Bobrovsky or Alex Lyon. Safety car's in this lap, so IRL Shane yet again is going to lead them to the restart here as he leads from Red Arrow, from BK, from Witjay, Shamboy, and that's your top 5. And he's backing them up pretty good this time around. IRL Shane now goes off, but BK and Red Arrow, BK gets another God jump. Oh my God! BK and Witjay spun out. Red Arrow's still in P2. BK and Witjay spun out
and
there.
Tito's on the P5, yes sir, he's in P5. Woo.
Oh my God, I can't believe that.
Why are all my assists on? What on earth?
Oh, I cannot believe that. BK all the way down into the realms of no point land. He's down in P9. Witjay is out of the points in P11. Oh boy.
No. Oh no, I've changed it to casual mode before this race on accident.
Oh, Severe Scott and BK are making contact here. Oh my God.
Oh,
Severe Scott running BK out wide there. Oh, allowing Witjay to get through. Oh, wow, BK just spun out Severe Scott there. I don't know if that was out of frustration or not, but they definitely made contact going into that complex previously. It's all kicked off here in the midfield. Witjay is back up in the P8. Krypton is in 10th, so he got caught up in that kerfuffle a little bit himself. But holy crap. A lap after the restart, it's IRL Shane in the lead. Red Arrow's in P2 still. Shawboy's in P3 right behind him. Raptors is up in the P4.
What Red Arrow needed.
Yeah,
exactly what Red Arrow needed is this gap to grow, because there's already a 3-second gap from Raptors to Gru, and that's already 3 seconds from Discreet to BK, and another 1.5 seconds Discreet to Scott. So that gap's already opened up very quickly for Red Arrow. If he is able to keep it going for another 5-ish laps, that gap will just keep growing.
Yeah,
he's in clear air right now with those cars in the front, but those cars behind are just going to keep fighting each other.
Yeah, he's already in the catbird seat. A Kryptonic swag. It looks like there's going to be a DRS train for him, and it looks like it's from P5 on back at the moment, and that is Gru. Black Hammer is up in the P6, Witjay is up in the P7, Arkaka P8, Krypton P9, BK in the back end of that P10. As IRL Shane goes, a 1:11.4 puts the fastest lap in on those hard compound tires. It looks like Arkaka went a little wide, and Krypton is looking on the inside going in the 1 here. No, he backs out of it. Gru 1:11.2 sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. A little bit up the road, you have that battle for P6 up there, so we're going to go to Witjay. As, and off in the distance are Arkaka, Krypton, and BK. But Witjay almost thought about the move on the inside. BK makes the overtake on Krypton in the back. So BK's up in the P9, but Krypton went off, and BK went off too. BK and Kryptonic swag went off. Oh my gosh, BK is just the lucky rabbits that he's had
last week, because if this was his race last week, he'd be in trouble.
Yeah, the lucky rabbits that the Hasses have had.
No, Tito's caught in 14th again.
My saving grace is Red Arrow right now, sitting up there in P2, and Sean Boy actually, because he's my P4.
I want to cry.
But yeah,
BK was my P5 too, so I literally have no one minus Shane.
Oh man. Yeah, you don't have anybody. All by yourself.
All by myself.
Ooh, Red Arrow. This battle for P2 might get a little spicy later on here. Red Arrow's going to hold off Raptors for now, but Sean Boy's looking behind him as well. We're going to go on board. Arkaka gets a 3-second time penalty. He's only the third one. As Krypton goes into the pits.
I accidentally changed my career race mode to casual, so now I have to retire from training.
I was completely unaware of Swifty retiring.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Completely unaware of him retiring. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Sorry, Swifty. But Red Arrow looks like he has a little bit of a straight line speed, because he got out of Junkai there pretty well, but Raptors is all over the back of him. Going into the Senna S, he's going to go look on the outside. Thinks about it, but holds off. He's going to try the switchback through the Senna S's into the Curva del Sol, but Red Arrow is going to hold on to it for now. Heading down the Retro Paso into Destino del Lago. Red Arrow goes defensive into it. He's going to hold on. It seems like he's going to hold on for another lap. The more these two fight, though, it may come back and bite him in the rear end. That Red Arrow, that is. That's got to be a track extension warning from Red Arrow on the Aston Martin there. Jeez. But Sean Boy is lurking behind there as well. Gru is still almost 2.5 seconds back. Black Hammer is behind that. Witjay is there. So it's IRL Shane, then you have a pack of 3, then you have another pack of 3. Then 5.5 seconds back from P7 is Discreet. Arkaka is on the tail, trying to get into DRS range, but Discreet looks like he has the pace on those hards. He's extending the gap now, so there's that. Severe Scott is on the outskirts of 10th place, just by sticking around. Oh, Red Arrow comes in. Wow, he just slowed up massively there. He's going to lose a ton of spots. As Swifty has left the session, he's just going to lose a ton of spots there. I don't know what happened going into the pit, if something disconnected. But Red Arrow is going to dive all the way down into, it looks like P11. Yeah, so yeah, he's P10, P11. You called that perfectly.
I told you, I'm just like that. Do I get half a point for that?
No.
Man, that was the call of the century. That's like Tony Romo during that one play.
as Kryptonic Swag goes 1:10.5, puts the fastest lap of the Grand Prix in, eclipsing his teammate there who just set it literally 15 seconds prior.
Just built like different.
Wait.
What are you waiting on, dude?
Kryptonic Swag actually just what would be the lap record. That's what I was looking for. Lap record was by Valtteri Bottas in 2018 with a 1:10.540. Krypton's fastest lap is a 1:10.501.
Glad you said it because I almost said DaCosta.
So, yeah. Technically, we have a fast lap. Which is absolutely relatively insane. For this game, it's relatively insane. As we have a spinner off in Sector 2. It is Severe Scott. So his rough night is continuing. Even though he found himself into the points, he's now hanging on to P10. But he keeps spinning, and Red Arrow is going to go through and get P10 back as Arkaka gets another 3-second time penalty. Captain Tito also goes on by Severe Scott there. So Scott is just spinning round and round. And he's going to get a time penalty for that cut right there. If he doesn't, I'd be very surprised. Oh, wow, he did not. I'm very impressed about that game. Krypton also gets through, so there's that. Meanwhile, the battle for what is going to be P4 is heating up here. Black Hammer and Gru on those medium compound tires. He's finding his way as Scott is just spinning around like he's in a washing machine. Washa, 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 washa. But we're going to go on board here for with P6 and with J, as he has P5 and P4 in sight here in the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo. IRL Shane up in the distance is almost 10 seconds clear of Raptors, and that's the gap from P1 to P2. Sean Boy's another almost a second and a half behind Raptors, and that's rounding out the podium positions currently. Go further down the field. The Streets in P7. He's been having an up and down night. BK, the lucky rabbit's foot was extracted from his rear end tonight, and he finds himself in P8, and he's finding himself in a whole mess of trouble. Cap and Jack's P9. He's literally almost a second behind there. Red Arrow's into the points in P10. These guys that are in the back are going to need a late safety car to get back into it. And I have a feeling if we have a late safety car, a lot of these guys, especially the front runners up to P9, is going to go onto the soft compound tires. Captain Tito and his teammate Krypton in the Ferraris. P11, P12 just outside the points. Arkaka staying in at P13 and Severe Scott's P14. It looks like he got lapped. So P14 will probably be the best that he can do as Arkaka spins it into the Senna S's heading toward the Curva del Sol. Oh, he's going to have a hard time now getting that ship righted. He may get lapped by a Gru? Got by Wuche? And Black Hammer? Oh no, wait, Wuche was the tail car. Black Hammer must have had a mistake heading up toward the front straight because Gru is through for P4. Those medium compound tires, he's going to have to get those another 10 laps. I don't know if he can. I mean, I know he's a tire god, but I don't know if he could get those to go 10 more laps, as we have a lap car there. That's Arkaka that the leaders are negotiating through now. So P4, P5, and P6 all through that Alpine of Arkaka. So he's just had a very abysmal night himself. BK gets a 3-second time penalty. That's very uncharacteristic of him. As we are approaching closely approaching 10 laps to go here in the AM3 season. RL Shane is a fortnight ahead of Raptors there in P2. Sean Boy is just barely hanging on right now. He's in P3, but he's closing in on Raptors. He's only a second and a half back. Grew under 3 seconds of the podium in P4 on those mediums, but those tires are going to be screaming soon, I would imagine. They're 12 laps old, 13 laps old now. Which is all over the back of that as Black Hammer almost misses his braking point and goes into the back of Witch A there. Severe Scott gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Witch A is going to stay behind Gru. I think Witch A knows or feels like Gru's not going to make it. And that seems to be my general thought as well. I don't think even you, Mr. Warren, are going to be thinking Gru's going to make those last. As Arkaka retires, and that is in the pit lane. Warren, are you there?
You've been auspiciously quiet.
I muted myself. No.
That's why. But no. What are your thoughts there? Gru's on 13 lap old mediums. I don't think he's going to be able to make that the rest of the way.
So I just watched 22 laps, and I said, if he's got a chance. I wouldn't put it past him, but if he is, he's going to be running on literal, actually slick tires by the end of it, because he's not going to have any grip left.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. I mean, he is the tire god king of AM3, but that's even a tough task for him. As Witch thinking about it. Oh, Witch and Gru make contact. Gru also spun out. Black Hammer goes back up into P4 there. Witch makes contact, spins out, is the big loser in that scenario. What happened to BK have it your way? Yeah, he had it his way all right until the rabbit's foot was extracted from his behind. He got caught up with...
got the championship and said, "No, I'm good."
And he decided to... No, I think it was more other drivers getting involved with them, because there was definitely contact with him and Severe Scott at one point. And yeah. Constantiner effect later, BK is on French points. But Black Hammer is up at the P4. It's now 4 seconds back into the back of the podium. I mean, I guess you could say that. But Black Hammer is sitting up there at P4. Gru is there. That actually is going to help his confidence with those tires, as Sean Boy gets a 3-second time penalty. So that's going to put, if Black Hammer and Gru can get there, Gru in particular, if Gru can get there, that's going to put the podium in jeopardy. And have Gru somehow magically pull it off. Now we're at the realm, oh, this ghost car is...
I was going to say the ghost...
That's the ghost of Severe Scott wreaking havoc. We'll go to Discreet here. Discreet looks like he's got some pace here too. As Black Hammer makes a mistake up ahead a little bit, it's allowing the lap car of Scott to go through, which is weird. Krypton looks like he's going to try to go for the fastest lap here, because he just bolted on a new set of softs. But we got Gru battling Black Hammer here for P4. He's going to have DRS heading down the retro Raposo as Witch gets 3 seconds himself, so that puts Cap and Jack in position to get P8 at the end. Oh, Gru goes in a little deep. We have VSC Discreet on his inside. Gru runs a little wide out of the corner. Discreet's going to go through on the outside, take P5 away from Gru, but Gru was also sensible enough to not fight that, knowing that as long as those two ahead of him fight, it's going to keep him there and those medium compound tires, as Severe Scott finally lets them through again. But those Alfa Romeo boys tonight, P4, P5 right now. they're looking to do some damage as far as team constructors are concerned. I know Alfa Romeo hasn't had the greatest of seasons, but at least they'll show a little bit of pride on the AM3 side of things. Going through, BK is up in the P7, Witch is in P8, Cap and Jack is in P9, and Red Arrow is rounding out the points in P10. Captain Tito is 3 seconds out of the points in P11. We're going to go on board here with Kryptonic Swang. Is the leader gets 3 seconds, but it doesn't really matter. He has an 11-second lead.
Cam, I am bottling it. Literally bottled it.
How's the race prediction battle?
I want to cry. I want to cry. My eyes hurt. My brain hurts. I want to cry.
We decided to go 4 deep because of Krypton 109.3 destroyed that. Jeez, 109.3 from Kryptonic Swang in the Ferrari. What a lap! But Cam, to go through, Warren picked Shane, Tito, Red Mask, and I went Shane, BK, and Red Arrow. We agreed to go 4 just in case because we didn't want to tie. And Warren's 4th place driver is BK, while my 4th place driver is Sean Boy. So technically I'm winning via 4th place.
I'm dead inside.
Go Deathstorm. Gru's fought back up to this battle. He's hanging on with those medium compound tires as we hit 5 to go here. But he is hanging on to that as we have a yellow flag in Sector 3, or Sector 1 rather. It is Red Arrow. As long as Sean Boy holds on, I will...
And even that, you need Tito to pass BK and Sean Boy to crash out.
Yeah, pretty much at this point.
Because my BK was lower than your BK was.
My BK... Oh, Discreet gets 3 seconds there. Captain Jack just spun out himself, it looked like. Captain Tito is now up in the 9th. Is that a point? Yeah, that'd be a point for me. Yes. That would be a point for me. Groove is still there, like I said. He's now a little over a second behind, but Black Hammer and VSC Discreet are going to be battling. If they battle, they're going to lose that P4, P5, and it'll turn to 5 and 6. But BK is coming with 4 laps to go here. And he's going to be driving like a man possessed. The last few laps of the season, he sees Guru up there in front of him, and what looks like the ghost of Severe Scott yet again wreaking havoc.
Cam, how we do it is you go by actual position, and if we're equal on how many have the actual position, or like how many we have in the podium, so if we both had 2 in the podium, it'd be however closer that next guy that we have on our list is to the podium. So in this situation, if Sean Boy was out, he'd have it because BK is in his top 3, and BK is in 7th.
Correct. Did you see the Did you see the chat?
Yeah. He can have it off the track. I'll have it on the track. It's fine.
That'll have a little bit of battle. Discreet did pull out from Black Hammer there, so I think he said he got it. But Discreet pulled away from Black Hammer. So that's now a second, and Gru is falling behind now. It's almost 2 seconds behind Black Hammer. BK is closing. He is inside of a second on Gru. Those tires have to be screaming now at this point for sure. Unlike EU3 this afternoon, where people were complaining about fuel and running out of fuel, Gru is more on the tire aspect of it now. As we have approached the penultimate lap here in AM3 competition here for Season 11, as IRL Shane is 15 seconds ahead of Raptors in P2. Raptors is on for his second podium of the season, I think. I know he got a win at Monza, but I think that was his first and only podium in COS so far. Sean Boy's hanging on there for P3 as Discreet's closing in on P4. Severe Scott, I think, just spun it out of the Sen S again. Yes, that's exactly what happened. BK can finish P5. I think
that
BK...
penalty, though, I don't know.
Oh, wow. BK can finish P5. It's only 3 he's only got 3 seconds, and Black Hammer and Discreet have 6. So it's possible. As we are now on to the final lap, we are going to ride on board with, as long as he doesn't bin it, who will be the winner of the Brazilian Grand Prix, IRL Shane. Unlike last week, won't have this one taken away from him because he's pretty much been dominant start to finish. Cam is rooting for BK to pass Gru there, but we're gonna stay here with IRL Shane as he makes his way through the infield for the final time here tonight. Going through the hairpin. Only trouble spot left is this double left down here at the end of Sector 2. Going through Zhongkao for the final time. Going up the hill. Hitting a lot of the curb on exit, but IRL Shane is going to come through turns 14 and 15 to win the Brazilian Grand Prix. And he's just making it very casual. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he's got 16 seconds. Red Arrow is going to finish right outside the points in P11. Cap and Jack P12. They're a lap down. But Raptors is going to finish in P2. Raptors gets his second podium of the season. Sean Boy will finish P3. And with that, and I'm going to say it, the comeback is complete. Yes! The comeback has been completed. Guru across the line P4. VSC on this VSC Discreet on debut will be P5. BK P6. Black Hammer P7. Those were after the penalties were applied. Witch is P8. Captain Tito finishes P9, and Krypton will get a point. He had the pace. There was no question about that. He destroyed the race lap record held by Valtteri Bottas. So virtually, technically in AM3 terms, Krypton holds the fastest lap here at Sao Paulo. It's been a brutal game. Yes, there have been a lot of ups and downs with this game. The driver of the day gives it to Raptors, given the fact that he DSQ'd himself. Yes, he started 16th. And he ended up second. So, yeah, driver of the day is definitely Raptors.
You got that dialed in.
Mr. Warren, since it won't phase you any, can you get our 3 podium gentlemen in for the interview?
Who am I getting in?
It's IRL Shane, Raptors, and Sean Boy. Here we go for the final time, the final results. IRL Shane wins for Mercedes. Raptors are getting P2, his second podium of the season. Sean Boy P3, wrapping up a great season for him, second in the championship. First for constructors. Guru P4 in the McLaren. He made those tires work. He got him to the end, and he almost stuck it out for a podium. VSC Discreet on debut P5. BK after the kerfluffle he had with a couple of the drivers. P6. Black Hammer P7. Witch P8. Captain Tito P9. Kryptonic Swing rounding out the points in P10. Red Arrow finishing a lap down P11. Captain Jack a lap down P12. Severe Scott P13. Arcaka P14. Swifty P15. Carson 16. And Red Mask we lost early.
It will not let me add Raptors.
RL Shane.
It's on Raptors' side for where I can't add him.
You have the invite for Raptors? And
I can't
Shamba?
invite him.
You can't even...
let me. Nope.
Alright.
So if you could delete that last message.
Yeah, I see it.
Manage my tires.
I can't. I can't add him. That's weird.
No, I can't either.
But any questions here, as I usually go through them, all the warnings. Wow, there's a lot for lap 1. Collision, 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 collision. Only 1 track limit warning for lap, or 2 track limit warnings for lap 1. That's crazy. Everything else is collisions. Going through. Carson Chung with the terminal damage. Red mask had happened early as well. And there's your time warnings. A lot of them coming in late. Alright, well, there's that. If I could get out of the lobby, that'd be great. Can you send a message into the chat?
For Mr. Raptors.
Yeah, Raptors and Sean Boy into the chat.
I can see. Raptor said he can't stay for interviews.
Okay, so there's that. And what about Sean Boy? Because if we can't get Sean Boy, might as well just get who we have here. He's already in his jammy, so that means no. Alright, well, while we're waiting for the game to do whatever it does, I'll just go with the race winner. Mr. Shane, how you doing tonight?
Evening, gentlemen.
Good
Well,
evening, sir.
To me would be good morning, but
Such a gentleman voice.
well,
Such a distinguished gentleman.
I was here last week.
Yes,
and
yes,
I also, I mean, I can't deny I'm on that suit buff though. I found the secret formula last week. I just put on one of my shirts, and I'm on that suit buff. I'm wearing a suit.
But no, a little bit of vindication from last week, where you had the win stripped away from you via penalties, and yes. Coming from the store, yeah, we kind of do need the race director. That's kind of why I post that at the end of the race. But now, because without the task system at the moment, we can't do too much with it. So my apologies to you there, sir. But P1 for the final round in the booth earlier today, in Victory Circle here tonight. You had a pretty straightforward race, honestly.
I want to say a pretty dominating one. I don't want to be disrespectful to any other drivers, so they all did a great job. It's just I was expecting to fight BK again, but that didn't happen. In the end, all I can say is I was last week for the race. Red Mask saw me as a reserve, so he invited me to a party with him and some other drivers, Tin Man and others, and with Jay and someone else was in there. Yeah, Severe Scott was in there as well, and then me and Red Mask, the both of us, we went crazy because we had the front row locked out by 2 EU drivers, so we went crazy.
Go crazy.
Yeah, and then I don't really know what happened. I just blasted off into the distance, and then that's pretty much it for me. All I can say is thanks to Witchay, because Witchay really he gave me such a gap after the first safety car.
Yeah,
so he was in the party with me, so I really thanked him for he gave me that gap to BK, and then it was just smooth sailing.
Yeah, Witchay, and then you had the benefit of Red Arrow, who didn't pit after the first safety car. He was on those old hard tires, and that definitely helped you out. But lap 1, what happened behind you is they went 4 wide into turn 1, so that definitely built the gap right out of the gate for you. But Mr. Warren, do you have any questions? I mean, I know you weren't able to watch the race except for on stream, but do you have any questions for Mr. Shane?
No, it was quite done and dusted off the get-go. Kind of smashed podium and smashed the race as well, so it was, for what I saw, it was pretty much yours the whole way through.
Yeah, well, all I can say is that looks to me that it was pretty much deserved after last week getting it taken away on pins, and then this week. This week is kind of revenge from last week, so it worked.
Yes, definitely, it really was. But yeah, if Warren doesn't have any questions or comments, congratulations to Krypton, who absolutely destroyed that lap record. Let's be honest.
Enjoyed it this season.
And me and Warren, we enjoyed the season up here in the booth with you guys, and
I'm coming back for what I rightly deserved next season. Man, I'm shooting myself in the foot every other weekend trying to be a hero. And of course, the people that stay on the podium, and I did not pick those people. So,
but yeah, to round out the podium predictions, I did it. I did it. I pulled it out. I don't know how I did it, but I'm not gonna.
I choked. It wasn't you, it's me. It's not you, it's me.
But no, with that being said, another great season here in AM3, Season 11, third season for AM3. Glad to be up here into the booth with Mr. E. Warren. Glad to be a part of it. And more importantly, glad to be the tier rep. So hopefully if I don't see most of you guys, or some of you guys, or all of you guys for Season 12, I'd be forever grateful for this season and whatever holds on to the future. For Shane, for Mr. E. Warren, for the rest of AM3, tune in tomorrow, 3 o'clock UK time for the XP2 division. They are on their last round as well. And then 9 p.m. tomorrow night, featuring the Red Bull boys in AM2 with Sao Paulo in Brazil. But with that being said, good night from Brazil, and we'll see you guys soon.